Good evening, everybody. It is a wonderful evening. It is a fantastic evening. I don't know what time is it in your country, in your zone, wherever you are. I just want you to please receive my greetings, okay? May God bless you. There is a burden in my heart, a very heavy burden in my heart. And that burden might not be your burden, but I know it is the burden that is in the heart of our Creator and it's in the heart of our Redeemer, Jesus Christ. The burden of winning soul has been something highly undermined in our Christendom today. Few churches in Nigeria are fighting now for souls. But the other one, they are just relenting. The other one, they are just relaxing and preaching their finances. It's all about money, money, money everywhere. But they don't understand that if you gather all those money, on the last day you have no souls to account for. There is no way you will enter the kingdom of God. It is quite disturbing. I am very, very perturbed with the level of Christianity that we are seeing in our country, in Nigeria today, and even in other countries in Europe and America. I think we have fared woefully, and the only thing we have to do now is to draw back, start to have this zeal. There is a story I heard about one young man. I wrote that story down here. I'm going to read that story for you so you see how we're supposed to. It's a one young boy in Aba in those days, you know. He was in Assemblies of God Church. This young man, he said that he was a soul winner. He looked, when he gave his life to Christ, he has this passion, this zeal to win souls, and he has been going around winning souls everywhere, bringing people into the church. But every time the pastor select people that we go for a mission field, he never select this guy. And the mission we're talking about is sending people from Aba to northern Nigeria, Maiduguri, Kaduna, Kano, Sokoto, Jigawa, all those kind of far places. And this young man is burning with this strong passion to win souls for Christ. And every time they make that selection, they will meet him. And he went early morning in the church and he said to Pastor, what have I done to you? What is my wrongs? Tell me. So every time you select the missionaries, you never count me in. Every time you single me out you make me feel like I'm nobody, like I don't worth serving Jesus Christ. What's the problem? I'm going to read a little bit what the man responded. I love this story so much. I put it down here. I can't remember everything. That's why I have to write it down to be able to explain. He said, well, Pastor, what did I do to you? Why do you hate me so much? I have been born again for almost 1 year now, and I have won many people to Christ. But why have you not recommended me to join others to go for mission work in the northern state of the country? His singlet was torn. He tore his singlet apart. He was very beat, angry, crying, and with this zeal, he was crying profusely, this young man. The pastor himself did not know what to say. The young man kept crying. That pastor of the church said to him, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? And then the pastor himself said, nah, I know very well that you want to serve God, but you are the only son. Did you hear that? You are the only son of your mother, and your father is late. If anything happens to you, who will look after your mother and your younger ones? The pastor said to the young boy. The boy started crying even the more when he said that, because the boy don't care about all these things he's talking about. So he called pastor's name, said, Pastor, I am the only son, and yet I was an armed robber. I am the only son, yet I was attending meeting in the midnight with native doctors where many of my friends could not wake up alive after diabolically fortifying ourselves against police bullets. After fortifying themselves against police bullets, many of them never come back to life. This boy say, I was the only son while I was doing this. Pastor, what would have happened to my mother if I had died in one of those armed robbery attacks? Who would have taken care of her? If I risked my life when I was serving Satan, why will I not risk it now that I am serving Jesus Christ? This is a question every one of us ought to answer. He said, the pastor said to him, the pastor became so speechless for almost 30 minutes. He couldn't say anything. And it was not long. We saw tears rolling down from the eyes of the pastor. Wow, brokenness. Brokenness. He held the young man, and both of them were crying together. How can I forget such scenes that God allowed to play out before my eyes? The pastor exclaimed. How can he forget all these scenarios before his eyes? The pastor recommended him to join some missionaries and that came in the area of missions work. The day he was living with them, the mother and his younger ones were crying, knowing that they might not see him come back. But maybe life or death, they might bring the dead body or may not. But I can still remember that excitement on the face of the young man. There was a very big excitement on the face of that young man. Why the parents were crying, everybody were crying, this young boy was so excited. Lord, how can I forget? The pastor said, how can I forget? Brother, sister, let us go to our Bible schools and listen to the conversation of those young men and women who have joined ministry, and you will know that many of them have no single passion for the lost. Go and check today. Many of those are sitting down in the Bible studies, in the church service and so on. There's no single passion for winning for souls. No single passion. It bothers me, it perturbs me to the bone that people are just walking around thinking that they are alive while they are dead. If you are irrelevant on this earth, I mean, if you are not a soul winner, you are irrelevant. You don't want anything in the eyes of our Father. I want you to just make yourself relevant. Christianity, like I used to say, is not passivity. It is activity. You must be able to up and do it. You have to keep running, keep going. You can't sit down one place and say that you're a Christian. My brother, listen to that testimony. But when I post this thing, please, I'm begging you, just play it over and over again. The testimony of this young man, the zeal of this young man. He said, if he would have died when he was armed robber, won't the mother survive? If he would have died when he went to the occultic meetings and they were doing their diabolically manipulations, trying to impact them with demonic influence that will stop bullets from penetrating into their body. He says he saw so many of his friends, they never wake up in that incantation and that demonic impartation. Many of them died in the process. If he would have died then, wouldn't the mother and the siblings, so wouldn't the mother survived? And the pastor broke down and cried. We might be the pastor of church, we might be the teachers of Bible and everything, but please, let us try to raise men and women that will be on the street and ask for souls for Christ. People that will bend down to pray. When they bend down to pray, all you will be hearing, God, give me one soul or I die. God, give me this nation, I die. Say, ask me for a nation, for an inheritance. That's what I'm asking. I, Evangelist Christian Chukwuka, okay, say Chukwuka, I am asking for nations. I am greedy for soul. All I'm asking is, Lord, raise me men and women, people that will send me, that will partner with me and send, because it costs so much to go. I need financial partners so I can be able to go. I'm ready for Uganda stadiums. I'm ready for Senegalese stadiums. I'm ready for Sierra Leonean stadiums. I'm ready for South Africa stadium. I want to hit the stadiums and start running. Everywhere I go, I will continue to preach that ABC gospel. Not that I will not be able to preach XYZ like Reinhard Bonnke used to say. Trust me, the ABC gospel is the most effective gospel that can win souls. That is telling them that I was once blind, but now I can see. That's ABC. Please, everyone, share this video. Don't let this video end up with you alone. Please share it. And may God bless you as you're watching, because I have a burden. That's why I brought this video to you. I have a very serious burden. God bless you. I love you all. My name remains Evangelist Christian Chukwuka of Abounding Grace Foundation. May you have peace that you are looking for. May God give you this zeal. Let this zeal come upon you, zeal of soul winning. Go out there, start searching for the lost. Once you do, every other thing shall be added, according to Matthew 6:33. Every other thing shall be added unto you. Have a fruitful evening. God bless you. Ciao.